Hello, Celebration. I'm Pastor Joe. I'm the marriage and counseling pastor here at Celebration, and I'm here to give us our 2021 recap. I'd like to start with marriage. We have a pre-marriage class that is different than normal. What we have one is that we have one that lasts over 10 weeks. What that allows us to do is to dive deeper into the material, to be able to create relationships and to be able to tailor as the class goes on. For this class, we had one in-person class where we had 3 couples go through it. That class went really well. All couples are now happily married and enjoying their first year of marriage. But we also gave it to individual couples over the phone. And the idea there is that for a lot of couples, a marriage just needs a tune-up, a brought back to basics. And this class helps to do that. It allows us to bring us back down to the foundation and to be able to talk about some root issues like communication, conflict resolution, intimacy, finances, things like that. And for all the couples that we brought through that, it did just that. It helped their marriage, it helped it to tune it up, and helped it to get back on God's path. Now to transition to counseling, myself and 5 counselors counseled over 100 people last year in all walks of life, ranging in ages from preteens to late 70s, and talking about a slew of different issues. Now, of course, due to confidentiality, I can't go into specifics, but there's one person I'm thinking of that I think his high-level story could really speak to the power of this ministry. I actually started seeing this guy 3 years ago, and of course that begs the question, how long do you see people? Well, usually we see people for 5 sessions, and then we will reassess. For a lot of people, that's enough. We let them spread their wings, fly, and enjoy their new freedom with check-ins as necessary. But sometimes there are people that require more, that require that deeper investment. And for those people, when they're doing the work and making progress, we make that investment. And this guy is one of those examples. Now, when I started seeing him, he was in the 5th grade. And already his life experiences were some of the heaviest stories I had ever heard. And when he walked into my office, you can just see he was mad at the world. It was the get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. His shoulders were slunched, he had a mad look on his face, and he had a thundercloud over his head. And everywhere he went, it was just that repulsion of I don't want to speak with anybody. After about a month, I finally cracked the shell a bit and started talking to him about different things and taught him what forgiveness was and wasn't. And was able to start getting his past taken care of. He started forgiving some major things and started achieving some freedom. Unfortunately, 2020 hit, and we lost contact. Well, we renewed that contact in the beginning of 21, and in the beginning of it, there were some new issues that we needed to deal with. At the beginning, you can see a difference in him. His shoulders were a little straighter. It wasn't the thundercloud over his head. There were still rain clouds, but you could see some pokes of sunshine coming through. And we worked for another few months, and we were able to, again, set him free from what he was dealing with. Now, I saw him later in 21 and early 2022, and I saw him walking out of the sanctuary. I didn't recognize him. Well, number one, he was like a foot taller, the kid grew, but his face and demeanor was just totally different. He was standing up straight. He was making eye contact. He yelled at me from across the sanctuary to get my attention. He initiated a hug for the first time in our relationship. And you can just see that instead of that get away from me kind of attitude, it was the come here, I want to get to know you. He was actually being a witness for God. And the sunshine just shined right through him. So as we talk about 2022, God gave us one word, growth. So of course, the first thing he does is he has one of my best counselors, Yadira, move to Virginia with her family. So we started a training class where we are now training up 15 new volunteers. Again, all across the spectrum, from young adults to more seasoned veterans. We have 4 married couples to be able to help diversify and be able to help our marriage ministry more. And we have people that speak Spanish as well as English. So I'm looking forward to seeing what 2022 has in store for our ministry. Thank you so much for your support.